name of one God, Father, Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. Please be seated. This is the day we celebrate the reign of Christ, Christ the King Sunday, the last day of our church year. It's also the last Sunday in our season of gratitude that we've been doing all month long at St. Stephen's. In our season where we've been looking to one another as and just sharing our gratitude. Why we're grateful to be here, doing what we're doing with one another. And as I was thinking about how we would wrap up our season of gratitude, the Holy Spirit doth provide by giving me the flu. So I was not with you all last Sunday. As I lay in bed with my fever and was, you know how sometimes you're really brought to mind of how grateful you are for something when you don't have it, when you lose it. Well, that really brought to mind for me last Sunday how grateful I am for the way we get to gather with each other on Sunday mornings. Because I didn't get to be here. I thought particularly mindful of one of the things that's become a huge part of the focal point, the hub of the life of our community, one another, when we gather and have breakfast with one another on Sunday mornings. This time where so many of us come to 8 o'clock to worship and then stay after for breakfast, or you come and join us a little bit ahead of time and then stay for worship afterwards. How it's become that one meal all week long. It's the one meal each and every one of us are all invited to share together, to break bread together as the people of St. Stephen's. And I get to go from table to table and hear as people who are grieving some loss can share that loss, and maybe somebody can hold their hand and pray with them, console them a little bit. Or how it's a moment for a celebration or something that someone's looking forward to. I get to go and see my granddaughter this week, or I'm going to go serve in a prayer ministry later on this week, and they're excited and want to share that. And they get to share that at breakfast with one another. How it's become that time that to borrow a phrase from Don Gregory Dix, who says that the worship life of our community is about gathering, taking, breaking, eating, and then going out and serving out in the world. That's become that moment where we literally gather together with one another. We gather, and then whether we're going to go off and get ready for altar guild, or to sing in the choir, or we're going to go home after a time of restoration and refreshment, we gather, we break bread literally with one another, we eat together, and then we go out and we serve with one another. Filled with the Holy Spirit, filled with the sense of community that we're a part of here. I didn't get to have that with y'all last Sunday, and so I felt really mindful of how grateful I am to have that, and how important that's become to us all. When I think about the ministries of our church that I lift up in gratitude. As some of you just all heard in Episcopal Basics, we talk about the mission of God. If the mission of God is to go out and love and be loved, if the mission is to love God and love each other, and then our ministries are how we all get to choose to participate in that mission, well, those ministries I get to hear all about. We get to share with each other on Sunday mornings. And maybe for some of us that ministry is serving out in the world. I've watched after Harvey and after Imelda as people at breakfast have been able to say, I lost this, I lost everything. And to have people gather around them and say, we can help, we can do a part to help, and we're here with you. Or to be able to gather around the table and say, I'm going to go work over at somebody's house later on this week. Does anybody come and join me? We've gone out and we've served the world, and it started there. I've watched as we have built community. One of the big parts of building community this past year was that big interfaith preaching series we did with 5 other churches. We gathered and we hosted here. And I'm so grateful for all the work that y'all did to prepare for that this year. As we gathered around the table and everybody started divvying up who's going to help out with this, who's going to help bake cookies, and who's going to help form the worship. And between everybody, we got that done. And I'm really grateful because I still go out to this day. I still go out and people in town still say, wow, y'all did such a great job hosting the Interfaith series this year. I watch as we go and we form young Christians. They come and they have breakfast, and then maybe they go off to Godly Play, or some folks go to Episcopal Basics. Or maybe later this week they'll be going to EFM, or maybe going to Camp Allen for a happening, right? Or our children's ministries, our child care ministries that we do right here at St. Stephen's. That we do this active forming of young Christians that are going to be the future of our church. We do a lot of pastoral care ministries as we hold hands with one another. Or we prepare to go out and be angels on assignment, go and bring communion or prayer to someone who can't be in the room and join us, so that they know they're here and they're a part of this anyway. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for all of the ways that we get to go out and we serve, and then we come back the next week and we gather with each other and say, wasn't this great that we got to participate in the mission of God this week? Here's how I did it. How did you do it this week? That's great. Here's what I'm excited to go and do next week. What are you excited to go and do next week? By sharing those stories with one another, not only are we practicing gratitude, but we're also building a sense of community here with each other. Because while each and every one of us is participating in ministry, participating in the mission of God in our own individual ways, we're all participating in the same mission of God together. So it's this gathering time that we get to come together and realize that while our many gifts, while we may have many different gifts, we're all participating together in this mission. So on this last day of the church year, where I'm mindful of the kind of church, the kind of reign of Christ we have, the kind of church that Christ has built for us and given to us in this world and called us to play a part in, I'm grateful for all the many ways in which you all serve. And I'm grateful that you come and you share that with each other. That this is something we can raise up and we can say at the end of our season of gratitude this Sunday. Well, it doesn't mean we need to stop being grateful. We can keep on being grateful. That it is an opportunity for us to be so thankful that we get to do this together with each other. So thanks be to God for the season of gratitude. Thanks be to God for Jesus making it all possible. As I promised to you all, we've been having opportunities for people to come forward and share their gratitude. We had some people last week. I know we have some people, and I know you'd like to come up and say something. But anybody else, as I promised, if you'd like to come forward and you want to share what you're grateful for. Today's your last Sunday. It's your last chance to do it. It's the closest we're going to have to an altar call. But I'll let Eddie come forward, and if anybody wants to join after